Andy McGrath. I reckon he'd just take a deep breath and sing the song and be thankful they're on the board for season 2022, and he joins us. Welcome, Andy.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Nathan. How you guys going?
No, we're going well. Was that the overriding sentiment at the end of that? You just had to find a way, and you did?
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty accurate. Obviously, we had a challenging first few weeks that we learned a lot from and really delved into our individual A games and our A game as a team. And I guess that's all great, but you need a win at some point. And yesterday was a great, gritty win.
What is the and well done on that win, mate. But what is the manifest difference when your senior coach isn't there and an assistant coach in Blake Carousella stands up? So we speculate on it, but for you, what is the difference on match day?
I think there's not too many differences. Obviously, Blake was our head coach yesterday, but Truck's still around as much as anything. Bucks, like, you know what the coaching structure is like now. Everyone's so aligned and everyone knows what we're trying to do, how we're trying to achieve it. And although Truck wasn't there physically, he was there through his messaging and obviously after the game on FaceTime. And but I was really happy for Blake to get a win, and hopefully we can get one for Truck next week.
You knew that you were coming into the year and you were going to have three really good opponents in the Cats, Brisbane and Melbourne. Was that discussed in pre-season? And did you feel like you needed to be forward in your preparation when you were coming into a 3 weeks like that, or was it just something you were just rolling into and seeing how it panned out?
To be honest, it wasn't something we spoke about too much. We obviously knew our initial opponent was Geelong, and that was going to be challenging, and they've been a good side for a long period of time, and we knew we'd have to be up for the fight. Obviously, we weren't in round one and improved in our performances in round 2 and 3, but I think when you start the season playing against great teams like that, you learn a hell of a lot about yourself and the gap between us and the best teams, and it allowed us to fast-track our growth and figure out areas in our game that we really need to go to work on during the week. And although the results didn't go our way, I feel like we were given some valuable gifts in those first few weeks.
With Andy McGrath from the Bombers, Stringer, Merritt, Stewart, Langford, Tipper, Hurley, Cox, Snelling. That's come through off our Temper text machine. What's the likelihood of getting any or all of them back in the coming weeks?
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'll find a little bit more about it tomorrow when we get into the club. But obviously that's a big list of boys that are in our best team when fit and firing. And to be without those guys is disappointing and obviously hurts us a little bit, but it gives opportunities to many other guys to play bigger and more important roles out on the field. And we're seeing the growth of guys like Perkins and Nick Martin, Sam Durham going to work out there, which is great to see. So when you do lose soldiers, it's important that we get growth in other guys.
2 metre, big 2 metre, Peter. It gives you great encouragement to go forward, and you can go forward aggressively when you've got someone that's presenting as he has been this year.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, Pete. It's no surprise, really. The way he trains and prepares is first class. He works so hard in his game from Monday to Friday, and I'm so happy for him that the results are coming his way on the weekend. And you're right, you can kick it forward with real confidence that he's going to make a contest or take the mark like he's been doing a majority of the first month. But he's going really well and looking forward to keeping his development up and seeing him grow into an even bigger player.
What about your own trajectory, mate? You've obviously played behind the ball a little bit, played on the wing and then on ball. What part of your game do you feel like you want to emphasise more and make the most of? And I suppose what role on the field do you see yourself in the next 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it's a good question, Bucks. I think I've played all those roles in the first 4 rounds. So I've kind of been moved around a little bit. With Zach being out, I'll play a bit more midfield time. But I think when he comes back, it'll be a mix of midfield, halfback is where I see things and where the coaches see things, I'm pretty sure. But as any player will say, I'm happy to play wherever the team needs me to play, and looking forward to just bringing my weapons and driving my legs through the contest.
And how's the back line working, mate? You've obviously got a lot of young players in there, and still growing and learning together. Who's sort of coaching that group and how you come together as a unit? Because you've been under siege at times in the early stages of this year, and you'd want to be able to get on your front foot a little bit more as the weeks progress.
Yeah, definitely. The back line's probably the hardest position on the ground, and it's highlighted when mistakes are made back there, and the boys down there are doing a really good job under siege. Like you said, we've conceded a lot of entries, and we're putting them under a bit of pressure as a midfield group, so we want to get better at that first and foremost. But Daniel Jam Syracuse is our backline coach, and he does a great job with those boys. It's a relatively new group of guys, and I guess Jake Kelly's been added to that group. You got young guys like Jordan Ridley. Nick Hind hasn't played a hell of a lot of footy, and James Stewart was predominantly a forward, now plays back, similar with Jaden Laverde. So it's a fairly new group, but they're just finding how to work best as a group, and are growing every week, and I think they'll get better and better as the season progresses.
Andy, you into the golf?
I'm actually watching it at the moment. I've got it on mute in the background. Yep.
So tell us, Scotty Scheffler has got a 5-shot lead walking down the 18th. Must be one of the best moments you could possibly have in sport, but I think he's thankful he's got a 5-shot buffer because he just bashed one into the shrubbery?
I think so. There's been a few misfires in the last half an hour.
Oh, no, he looks all right, actually. He's out on the fairway.
I think he's okay.
Hey, good to talk to you. Well done.
Training, mate.
You've had a good win on the weekend, which makes the week all the more enjoyable. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Andrew McGrath there from the Bombers. Now,
good player. Number 1 pick.